Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Good Times for All, or Zachary Zabala if you prefer. In this video we're going to talk about the Southern Star Trails and what model, almost what there would have to be for it to work on the flat model and how it can work. I've been contemplating a lot lately about whether or not we are inside of a dome structure or if it could just be, a flat parallel line here and a flat parallel line there. I'm thinking it's the dome. Now we know we can only see in a certain distance. Okay, we have our North Pole here at the center of both of these. And you have your equator over here. I'm not even going to worry about this side. So he would probably, if they're that far above the north, they'd still be able to see Polaris, like right at the equator. So we're going to say it's like that's how far they can see. Or that's what they see. Same here. So there's not much difference, it would still create the same effect up to about, I'd say about this point. And then that's when you get into, you need the dome curving like this, creating this hemispherical lens. Because the hemispherical lens that we create with how far we can see, it does not do with stars. Say if I'll show you. But we would see if the hemispherical lens was created right here, and I'll show you what I mean by a hemispherical lens and how it works, then we would see a southern star rotation no matter where we were. And we would see some really weird stuff we'd almost see two Polarises in the sky at one time. If this were creating the southern star trails that we see. Now over here, this dome right here will create the southern star trails that we need. I'm not sure. I don't see how it could be done with a square like that. It almost has to be a domed structure. Sorry about the noise. My dog must have just drank a bunch of water. He's drying off his beard. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm talking about how far we can see. Now this is definitely not to scale, but we'll say this hemispherical lens right here is just the distance that you can see on the Earth. Now it'd be much bigger. Okay, and then you take your stars, and they would be up here. So you'd have your Earth down there, and the distance you can see, and then your stars would be like over the top, like that, to where they would just rotate above you overhead, and you would see only what you could see from that sphere there. And it would look like this. So all the constellations, even when you get down way down in there and look to the side, so all the stars you could see, you'd be able to see from that point of view, from the center of that sphere, hemispherical lens. So we create a hemispherical lens by how, just on the distance that we can see. But the thing is, you have to give me a second here. I'm going to have to put this in. Now the way that the lens works, it wouldn't make sense in the square. Now, as you can see, we can get it to make the two different rotations. You see the clockwise and the counterclockwise. See that there? Now, if it were a hemispherical lens, we would see that our eyes were creating. We would see this no matter where we were on Earth. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just some of the neat stuff I've been playing with. And then I had an idea. I had to go and make my own. Here we go. I did one of these where I just took a compass and drew a bunch of circles. And I drew dots on it. I was messing around. The neatest one I did was this single dot right here. When you have a single dot, well, let me cap this marker real quick and set it down. Now, when you have a single dot, watch what I can get this single dot to do. You can get it, look at that. And it even curls around both edges, kinda. And then it just disappears. Boop. Boop. Now, if it were a hemispherical lens, it would even do this. Look at, see, even when we're at Polaris here in the center, whichever way is south is where that is going to happen. It's not really, whichever way is to the outer edge from the center. Do you notice that? Wherever Polaris I put it, it's always on the opposite side. It's so just like you would be looking south or towards the outer edge is where you would see that circular rotation. But we don't see this at 40 degrees north, where I'm from, 41 degrees north. It's more of a, I can't even get it to do it. You don't see the stars curl in like that ever. They just are flat. So what I'm trying to say is the lens created by our eye, or perspective, just the distance that you can see in every direction, does not create this type of lens. This has to be created somewhere else, which is pointing me towards a solid structure on the outer edge. Or even if it isn't solid, it's got to be shaped this way, I believe. And there's your stars that you can see in the water, and then the ones you can't. It creates more than is really there. So I just wanted to share that with you folks. And the ideas that I've been having playing with these lenses lately. I got a bigger lens ordered. This is only 60 millimeters. I have a 100 millimeter one coming, so I'll get some better views for you. But yeah, so this southern star trail that we see, I believe there has to be a solid structure, or, well, not even a solid structure. There has to be a dome shaped. It has to be this one. I was leaning towards, hey, it could be this, no problem. And then I started playing with these lenses, and this that we create ourselves with our eye does not create this. It just doesn't do it. So we have to go somewhere else to an actual, you know, a solid lens up there. Something creating this that we see. So that's just all I had to say. Still working on more stuff and whatnot. I got all kinds of stuff up here to play with. And some more stuff. I'm going to be... see what I can't figure out. Well, that's it, folks. This is Good Times for All signing out. And as always, thanks for watching.